This is Abe Friedtanzer from ShockYa, and I'm thrilled to be speaking with Signe Baumane and Dagmara Domińczyk about their film, My Love Affair with Marriage. How are you both doing today?
Good.
Wonderfully.
Of course, it's great to be able to speak with you. Signe, I'm a big fan of Rocks in My Pockets, and so it's great to see your latest work here.
Thank you. Yeah.
How would you say that, besides obviously dealing with interesting subjects and being animated, how would you say that these two films are related?
They're based on personal experiences, inspired by the personal events. So that is a unifying theme. But they're quite different. Like I think that My Love Affair with Marriage is 100 times more ambitious because we have 30 speaking and singing characters, and Rocks in My Pockets has just one voice telling the story. So it's a big difference. And then also technique. The technique is the photograph backgrounds mixed together with, I'm sitting in front of one of these sets. And the technique is similar, but in My Love Affair with Marriage, it is 3 steps farther or 5 steps farther. Like we developed it more, that technique. And I think the backgrounds are much, much more sophisticated and elaborated.
Absolutely. And Dagmara, were you familiar with Signe's work, and what appealed to you about this project?
I was not familiar until I got the script, and I just read it cover to cover. And if something doesn't grab my attention, I'm a busy gal, and I'm a mom, and so like if I'm not into it, it gets like I'll finish it always, because you have to, you have to finish it if you've been presented something. But this one I read probably without stopping, because it struck me and spoke to me on so many levels. And so as soon as I read it, I had some links available of Signe's prior work, Rocks in My Pockets, and a bunch of little shorts she had done. And I loved them so much. And I remember telling my husband, like, oh my God, this woman is amazing, and I'm going to be in her next movie. And I just was in awe of not only the storytelling from a kind of narrative perspective, and the way she told the stories, the dialogue, the words, right? But married with this animation, this kind of visual method of communicating that was surprising and inventive, and I don't know, I really loved it, and I could imagine what she would do with something like this. And when I saw the movie, and I was on location in New Orleans working on another film, and I wanted to see the film before press. And usually I don't even do that. I just see it on the big screen. But I thought this one it's been so long, and all I did was use my voice. I just wanted to see it, to get a taste, because I don't think I'll really see it till I see it on the big screen. And even on a tiny phone, I just was blown away by it. I was blown away by it. And I probably will watch it over and over again, because there's so much happening, and there's so many layers, and so much hard work and love put into this movie. Blah, blah, blah. Stop me now, Abe, because I'll go on forever.
No, it's wonderful. I do want to go back to, you said that you told your husband that you had to do this. This film does not present a very flattering picture of husbands in general.
Well, yeah, but life isn't flattering to everyone. It doesn't present a very flattering picture of some women too, but I think that's the point. We're human. Women are human. We're allowed to be fucked up. And men are, we don't have to go into how fucked up men are. But no, he knows that too, That's why I loved it, because it doesn't flatter anything. It presents this beautiful truth, and some of it is hard and tough. Some of it is so funny, even in its darkness, and some of it is so hopeful. It's just like it's not a slice; it's the whole pie,
Signe, did you want to say something about that?
What?
Did you want to add something about that?
No, I feel it's not really true that husbands are not presented in flattering light. I think what is not presented in flattering light is the culture that forces us to assume certain roles in certain ways. I think when you look at the way how the husband's stories are told or the men's stories are told, they're presented with definitely they're vulnerable, and they are told how to be a man, you know, and how to get to win this world, and they have to be a certain way, and so they don't know the other way, you know, they don't know how to be, how else to be, you know, and so that is where you know, I'm like, my task was not presented men in unflattering light. I wanted you to feel for Sergei. I wanted your heart to break for Sergei. And then later on, you see that he was not spectacular human being, but you would know where he's coming from. And it's not entirely our fault. And sometimes, you know, it is even like epigenetics, you know, like you were born in a certain time to certain parents, you were not born blank page. And then, and also the biology, how the biology works. And then the culture around you forces you become certain way, and then you become that certain way. And if you don't realize who you are, and you cannot, if you don't employ your prefrontal cortex to organize all these fears and wants in a more comprehensive way, you are not going to be the best human being you could be, you know. So anyway, that is, I don't really think that, as Dagmara said, none of the characters were like flattering or like, because we are imperfect, we are humans, we lose control of the feelings, but also, you know, we have the culture that tells us the way to be.
The culture fucks us up. Like these men weren't taught how to love. They weren't taught how to value individuality or going against the grain. They were taught that they were part of a bigger picture, and the bigger picture had to work, and you had to do your part, you know. So that is what fed. And probably inherently, of course, they had their own personality kinks in there. And so you have to work very hard against that. You know, the world isn't full of Zelma. And, but yeah.
Do you think this film will be received differently by an Eastern European audience versus an American audience?
Yes, I do.
I don't know. I think that the Eastern European audience would definitely relate to it and have chuckles. But I also feel that American audience would relate, because there's just archetypical behavior by men and women that cross the cultures, you know, like we still approach certain things similarly. You know, like for example, we had test screenings, and then the line, you know, where the man told the young girl that he's like the age of Jesus Christ, you know, that was, you know, like a line that always got laughs with the American audience, you know, so.
I am happy to see that there seems to be a lot of Latvian cinema making it to the United States. January is also at Tribeca. I know The Pit last year, The Blizzard of Souls before that. Is this, you know, is there a big wave of cinematic industry there right now?
Well, I mean, the funding is definitely is more. Maybe there's more than it was before, you know. I also feel that people, Eastern Europeans, are learning to cobble their poor fundings together. You know, there's a lot of co-productions. Like this film is a co-production between Latvia, US, and Luxembourg. And so, and I feel that there are a lot of films are co-productions, because when several small countries put the funding together, that is better, you know, for everybody. So there's more collaboration and cooperation between the countries than it was before, and the connection. So I think that is probably the magic. And so once you have to communicate, let's say Latvian film has to collaborate with Estonian film, the production company, you have to have a team that would be relatable, not just to Latvians, but also meaningful to Estonians. So you have to have that more universal appeal. And I think that is also another secret, what is happening in Latvian film industry now. It's people are having more like universal topics, you know, exploring more of that, you know. So I think that's probably what's going on.
And Dagmara, were there challenges in doing a voice role where you weren't appearing on screen?
Yes, but there are also many benefits. Mainly, you know, nobody cared what I looked like. I didn't have to get dolled up. I didn't have to fit into a costume. I didn't have to, even though I do like to wear makeup, and I probably did. So that was great. It felt very intimate. It felt like much more of like a scaled down, intimate collaboration. You know, there was just me, Signe, and Sturgis in the room, really, and the only facet of my instrument, which usually is my face, my eyes, my body, the clothes I'm wearing, the all the things that you use on screen and on stage to communicate who the person is that you're playing, was whittled down to my voice and Signe, who, you know, I said before, it was like she was trying to make music, but could only conduct one instrument at a time. So I think for her, maybe it was more challenging for then later, when the actors went off, to make sure that we were in the same band, you know, to make sure that we were telling the same story.
Yeah, but Dagmara, you gave.
I know you just told me that. I didn't know that.
No, but you gave the heartbeat. You know, like
right.
you really, that was you, the center of
right.
the story.
But you really did help me. You know, a voice is a voice, and you're used to it. And you know, I studied theater, and how important your voice carries, and how you can use it, how you communicate with tone, and all that stuff. But we didn't know each other before this, and maybe being in a small environment, in literally a small room with headphones, and being aware of each other's sound and all that, helped create this kind of bond. And maybe coming from the same part of the world, I don't know, but we were able to be very honest with each other and try it this way, or can you do it this way? And I would say, I actually don't agree with that. And it was really lovely and inspiring, and yes, it was probably exhausting too, because it was very specific work. So yeah, there were a lot of challenges, but all really wonderful, wonderful ones. And I would do it again in a heartbeat. I love doing it.
Well, that's great to hear. The result really is pretty incredible. My Love Affair with Marriage premieres at the Tribeca Festival in the International Narrative Competition on June 11th. Thank you both so much for taking a few minutes to speak with me today.
Thank you, Abe. Bye.
Good luck with the film. Take care.